Boom. Howdy. We're back. Welcome to Packman Paranormal Live. I'm Ernie Pack.
Denise Pack.
We're Packman Paranormal. And we are back. We took a week off because of a lot of stuff. Before that, we had a show, and then before that, we took a week off. But we're back.
We had a show, then we didn't have a show.
Yeah, we've got a show. And we've got a good show tonight. We've got our good friend Christopher Lee Jansen.
Yeah, the last show wasn't good because you were on here by yourself. Eric, there you are.
The last show was freaking awesome with me.
Mm-hmm.
Before we bring Christopher on, I wanted to talk about the weekend that we had, because we had, hello Leanne, hello Eric. We had Night Song Paranormal that had booked a night here at the house on Friday night. Night Song is awesome. If you don't know those ladies and gentlemen, they're an amazing team.
Vernon didn't get diddled this time, though.
No, Vernon did not get diddled this time by the ladies from the brothel, but he still had a great weekend.
He was a bit disappointed.
He was. He offered $104 and laid there and said,
"I got
do you want to do the sex?" He did. He really did. But we had them here on Friday night. They had an amazing off the chart night. I mean, the activity was nonstop from the moment they got here.
We had the big storm.
Yeah, we had the storms with the tornadoes that went through,
knocked our electricity out.
Yeah, we were without power for over 24 hours. And I want to send a lot of thoughts, good vibes, prayers, whatever you guys can send to the folks of London and Somerset, Kentucky. There were a lot of lives lost in those tornadoes that went through there, or that one big tornado that went all the way across the state. But anyway, Friday night with the storms and everything, the house got juiced and they had a crazy night. And then Saturday, we went to the Red Yeti. We went and got Taiwan Snow Ice. Went and saw Annie over there at Fun Tea. And then we had the Squatch Man join us at Fort Duffield for Night Song's first squatching. And they had success. And it was kind of a eye-opening experience for them, I think. But anyway, crazy weekend. We are drained from all the energy that...
I took a nice long nap today.
Must be nice. I worked all day.
Sucks to be
Worked my tail off.
Sucks to
whatever,
be you.
Shut up. And we did not plan the shirt combination, by the way.
We're Twinkies.
Whatever. Anyway, it just kind of happened.
Quit talking and get our guest on here.
You interrupted me when I was getting ready to introduce our guest. Christopher Lee Jansen has been, from the moment we first met him and got in contact with him, he has been a person that just, I mean...
Oh, he was one of the first. He was the first group to come to the fort.
Exactly. And, but I mean, he just kind of grew on us real fast.
Like a fungus.
Yeah. He festered. Like we were talking about that earlier. But anyway, let's bring him on and go ahead and click on that. Yeah, there he is. Christopher Lee Jansen. How are you, brother?
Good. I am a real fun guy, let me tell you.
You are. Guy.
Fun
See
guy.
what he did there?
I'll see what he did
He
there.
did that.
That's called being sleep deprived. That's what that is.
Yeah, but Sarah's
we
talking
get it.
about our teas.
Yep.
We didn't even plan it,
We did
Sarah.
not plan this, Sarah. She was in one room getting ready. I was in the other room getting ready. And we came out and we're like, huh, well.
Because we share one brain.
Scary. Anyway, you've had a busy run of things. I know you got back from Parapsychon, didn't you?
Yes. Always an epic event.
Cool.
You
All right. Well, he's a man of many words.
I'm still processing this weekend's event. It was just, I had one of the coolest experiences. Someone who's come back year after year to see me there for a reading. She revealed to me today that she's been adding on to a tattoo every year after our reading. Like she takes a picture of her spread and has a card added on based on our reading so she can watch her growth as we go from year to year at this event. I mean, just things like that all weekend long. I'm still processing that. That's so cool.
It is cool. That is. I like that.
Well, I have to brag about the reading I got from you. Like what are you? Am I?
You every time you move, it's wiggling my chair. My chair's going wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Talk to Chris.
Anyway, you and I just had a reading. You gave me a reading. What was it, last week, week before? I can't even remember.
I think last week.
It was like Tuesday
And
or Wednesday.
it was, you were always so spot on. I tell everybody you are one of the best in the business. I send everybody your way. I'm like, you need to go see Christopher. You need to contact him. And
Find him at an event.
I cannot express that enough. But then before we brought you on, I was talking to Ernie. I said, you rave about Christopher too, but have you ever had a reading from him? And he's like, no, I haven't. So
we're going to make that happen real soon.
Yeah, because I mean, Christopher.
I might just wait till he comes next week.
Yeah, look,
and get a live reading.
Oh yeah,
and a past life here at the house.
Yeah,
because he's going to be here for a while.
He's going to be here for a while, but I don't know if we're going to have time for past life regression.
You worry about yourself. Me and Christopher got this handled.
Because we had a busy weekend that weekend.
We'll find time. We'll make it work.
I need a past life regression.
I know we've talked about that for a long time now.
And and Leanne, you've had a reading from Christopher. Look, she raves about you too.
Yes.
So.
And folks are going to have that opportunity at the TRIFECTA, as a matter of fact. They'll be offering readings at the TRIFECTA. Tonight, you're going to be doing one-card readings for the viewers, for anyone who wants one. And I've already taken dibs on first in line for that when we get to
and anybody that wants that hasn't got tickets for the TRIFECTA that's still interested, we got the crawler going across the bottom here. It's going to be here in West Point, Kentucky, on the May 31st. The tickets, I think the VIPs for the house are sold out, but you still have the opportunity to go to the fort, spirits, squatches, UFOs with the CE5 experiment, which Christopher's going to be running that. Readings with Christopher, and then picnic with the Packs on Sunday.
Yeah. So there's a lot of add-ons on there, but you can go to that, get that extremeticketing.com link for the TRIFECTA and all of the add-ons for Christopher's readings, for the picnic with the Packs. Everything's available. You'll see it all there at that link. But I don't know. I mean, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about you, and that concerns me.
People are afraid.
So I'm going to be nice.
Well, you know what? Me and Christopher have been doing a lot of talking behind the scenes, and Christopher and I have a few things planned together that we haven't exactly included you in, so you might want to be concerned.
I know a little bit about some of this stuff. You all want to give a hint as to that?
No. Just be very afraid.
Rob said we better have power when he's here.
We've got now, Rob, but Tuesday we have more tornadoes coming through. So, or strong storms at least. Can't guarantee a tornado.
So
there's the tide.
The tide. So.
Do you want to jump right into the readings, or do you? What do you want to do? Do you want to jump right into that, or you want to talk a little bit more about anything else?
Why don't we jump right into that, and then at the end we can talk about anything else.
Sounds good.
So you've already put your name in the hat for dibs on the first card pull.
Yes. So
anybody else that wants a one card reading, put your name over here, and we'll keep up with the list so that Christopher gets to.
I'll have my secretary over here make a list, and
with my new pen. I got new pens.
He's so proud every time she gets.
There's nothing like a new pen.
Is there any specific intention you'd like to put into this before I turn this?
There's so many things, so many different directions I could go with that.
I don't think too hard. You're going to get a reading in a couple of weeks.
I know it. Yeah, I'll save that for that. Just give me a general outlook. How's that?
Well.
Okay.
We're starting out very strong. We're starting out with my second most favorite card in the deck.
Nice. I can't. The little glare right there where the word is. What's it say?
It's death.
Oh, okay.
I'm always thrilled when death comes up.
Mm-hmm.
The way this card connects to change and transformation, sometimes it can be change and transformation that's already happening. Sometimes it can be necessary change and transformation. Sometimes, as we know, change and transformation comes and we're entirely out of control of it. We have to sit back and weather the storm and then see where we land on the other side.
Okay.
This, to me, does not at all for you feel like something that you don't have control of. It feels like change and transformation that's been building. Maybe in some ways we've been dragging our feet a little bit as opposed to jumping into this head first. But now that it's here, you do have control over it as this unfolds.
Okay.
I really want to say that this relates more to you as an individual as opposed to you and anything else that you're a part of or you do.
Okay.
I don't see that as a bad thing at all.
No, I mean, I'm a person, I actually like change. And so I look at it optimistically. I know a lot of people that are not familiar with card readings at all or the tarot, how it actually works. They see the death card and they're like, oh, no. No, it just simply means a change, a transition, and maybe an end and a new beginning or something to that effect. Am I right?
Right. And that's why when that comes up, I always like to say, oh, this is my second favorite card in the whole deck. I love this.
Well, I mean, next time we do this, I need to get the first favorite card.
You might. It could happen.
Well, I appreciate that. And I think I know what it relates to. So
it's exciting. It is exciting. It's not scary at all.
No.
The longer you wait on this, the more scary it could become. But if you just dive right in, then it's not going to be scary.
Okay. All right.
Good to know.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm trying to keep up with people saying hi, but Leanne Eskew is the next person that, let me put it back up here. Leanne and Eskew.
We have what would traditionally be our King of Wands. In this deck, it's called the Father of Wands. The imagery in this deck is supposed to be very wild and feral. I mean, king and queen, that's a concept for us humans. So here we have mother and father instead of king and queen. The energy here is reversed. That changes this a little bit. There's something that you're going to need to let go of, something that you very much want to have control over. I'm going to say that this relates to an outcome that you want to see happen in a certain way. Whether it's going to go that way or not, this isn't going to tell me that, but you're going to have to let go of wanting one thing or another. And you're just going to have to sit back and be okay with where it goes. I think if this goes one direction versus the other, you could very much have a tendency to be hard on yourself. And I don't think that's going to be productive. If this doesn't go the way you want it to, I think it's going to be much more productive for you to understand that you still did everything you could and did your best, even if it didn't turn out like you wanted it to. So letting go of potential outcomes.
All right. And if anybody that gets a reading, if it resonates with you or you want to say anything to Christopher, please feel free to put it in the comments. I'll get to it eventually. I'm just trying to make sure that I get everyone up here that wants one. Todd would like one. The Todd. Mr. Lee, you.
Our Seven of Wands, that's such a great image. One of the things I love most about this deck is the imagery. They take all these traditional concepts and just put a little bit of a creative spin on them through the artistry. Sometimes when we do what we do, we find ourselves getting very tired. Sometimes we start thinking we need to step back. Sometimes we start thinking we need to move on from something. If there's anything there of that energy in your life right now, the energy is more step back instead of step away. Stepping back can be very, very temporary and can give us just enough of what we need to be able to come back clear-headed and refreshed. The energy around this says that whatever this relates to, that it is that you're doing, there's enough importance behind it that it would be a great disservice to you and anybody else connected to it if you were to just step away.
Okay, good job. Let me see. Yes, Patrick Doyle would like one. Joanne, I saw your comment. I'm just trying to go down the line. So if you get a chance to pop back in here, let me know you're back. We'll get you on the list to get a reading.
Our 10 of Pentacles. I always like when the 10s come up. Well, more often than not, I like when the 10s come up. I'm not going to follow that rabbit trail. Just leave that alone. That doesn't relate to your reading. That's just me and my thoughts. So, 10 of Pentacles, this is for you. Sleep deprived. You've worked really hard for something. There's something here in your life, more than just something, that it hasn't just landed there in front of you. It hasn't just landed in your lap. You've worked really, really hard for it, and you deserve credit for that. That statement could go one of two directions. You know, where do we get credit for these things from? From ourselves and from others. And so often, the energy that comes when I go down this road is you're not giving yourself the credit you deserve. I don't think that's it here. I think this is a reminder for you how important it is to make sure that the other people in your life give you credit for what you do and what you've done. Make sure you're being appreciated at the level you deserve to be.
All right, very good. Well, just if you need a break at any time, Christopher, you let me know. I'm just going to keep going down the line here.
Oh, I'm good because Shelly from the old Paulding jail isn't here to break me away for lunch at 2:30 like she does every year at Parapsychon. So I'm good. I'm just going to keep going.
Good.
Actually, today I was very proud of myself. She came to my table at 2:30. I was just wrapping up. I had 3 more people come up, and I said, "Are you here for a reading?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "I'm just stepping away for lunch. I'll be back in about 45 minutes. I was very proud of myself.
You did
Cool.
good. And we didn't even have to come up there and chase the taco truck for you.
Yeah.
So right. Oh, that's coming again. Don't worry. You'll be chasing a food truck for me again.
and you are getting thank yous over here. I'm just trying to make sure everybody gets their due time on screen. So I'll put the thank yous up after we go through all these.
Who's next? Did you give me the next name?
Ryan Schroeder.
Ryan Schroeder.
Sorry, I had it up there. I didn't know if you saw it or not.
The 5 of Swords. I love this illustration so much. That split worm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we know what happens when you do that to a worm, right? It keeps going.
It does.
As 2 effective pieces. Obviously, as human beings, we can't like chop off the arm and it just regrows and we keep going. But we do this on a mental and emotional level over and over and over again. We do exactly this. This came in the reversed position, so that changes the energy a little bit. Energetically, there's clearly a strength about you that other people recognize and seem to draw upon. So you might be one of those people that people find themselves going to over and over again when they need something, when they need strength. The question that comes to mind is, well, when you need that, because sometimes we all need that from somewhere, where do you go to get it? I mean, who's taking care of you the same way you tend to take care of others? Just something to think about.
All right. And then next we have Candy Slater.
Our Three of Swords. I'm getting a lot of reversals tonight.
Mhm.
And that's fine. That's, you know, the three swords being bound so very tightly together. Sometimes the energy of this card comes with the energy of like ripping off a band-aid and just like, oh, it'll hurt for a second, but then it'll be fine. The reversal indicates that when you do what you're supposed to do, it's not going to be pain that comes, rather a sense of relief. I want to just tear those bindings apart and let everything that's there out. And that makes me feel that there's something somewhere in your life that you've not been saying. I don't feel like this is a constant condition that I need to pick at. Like, why do you always keep things? It's not that. This is very specific right now in your life, something that you know you've needed to say to someone, but you've held on to it for whatever reason. And there's nothing here that's telling me your reasons for doing that are wrong. Just that now is the time to be done with it and say what you need to say. Then everybody moves on with their lives.
I can see that for Candy. I
I
can see
can.
exactly where he's going with that with Candy. All right. Next we have Claire Johnson.
Our Nine of Wands. Isn't that pretty? And I see that there's a little, there we go. That put it a little more into focus.
That's better. I like it.
I know whenever the moon card or any depiction which has the moon in it comes up, it just brings me such peace. Even though this looks like a path, I feel like what we're talking about is a threshold instead of a path. Like you're standing there at this threshold and you're about to step over into what's really going to be this next phase of your life. This feels very big. It feels like you're at a transitional point. And right now you're just kind of hanging out there on the edge, waiting to take that step over. Like you just need a little push. It's all right, go. This feels really exciting to me. It feels like a big change, a big movement, but there's excitement all around it. I mean, this doesn't scare me. Sometimes something of this energy comes up and it's like, oh, I would not want to feel that. I wouldn't want to go. No, it's not that. This is exciting. I really like this. And it's worth putting out there that sometimes that excitement can come in the form of the end of a chapter. Before we start the next chapter, we have to end the previous one. And sometimes the start of a new chapter isn't as thrilling as the end of the last one. So sometimes just bringing something to a close, that's the best part.
Very good.
I get it.
All right. Well, our infamous cult leader is back and demands to go next. Rob Stockwitz wants to go next. He said you need to pull him the death card. I don't think it works that way, Rob. I'll do that.
It does not work that way. I unfortunately can never promise that I'm ever going to tell someone what they want to hear. I can always promise that I'm going to tell someone what they need to hear. But I will never promise that I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. Our Three of Wands. I love that image as well. There's so much there at the center of this image. Even though my eye immediately goes to the center where all the color is, I've got to focus for a moment on those vines that are at the corners. What happened if we took all those away? The whole thing would fall apart. For you, I think you know very well what it feels like to be at the center, to be the one pulling the strings, or to be the one who's making moves, making things happen. And then there's all these other pieces on the outside that if we took those away, things just would not move the way they need to. I think you're very aware of that. And I think when you put the whole picture together, everyone around you, at least those who matter most, are aware of that as well. So this to me is an affirmation that thus far, you've done well, and you should continue doing what you're doing. But obviously you can't do it all on your own, because without those outside corner pieces, it would all fall apart.
Hear that, Rob?
I like that. I like that.
Ron says, you just read him a minute ago. He says, I care about everyone I'm around, even when I'm investigating with my paranormal team. Thank you so much for this. Can you please do a reading for my CNR paranormal team, as we are going to do an investigation this weekend? And once again, all these people are saying thank you over here. If I can't get them up on the screen, you can you can go back and read them later. He says, Rob says, I'm firing everyone tomorrow.
That's exactly the answer I'd expect.
Yeah. What you need to do, right?
So this is for the team that was asked about.
Yes.
Whether this is a location you've been to before or not, you're going to come across something that's going to encourage you to look at things through a different set of eyes or from a different perspective. Again, I'm going to say whether this is a location you've been to or not, because I don't know. You didn't tell me that. Either way, there's going to be an opportunity for you as a team to do something a little bit differently than what you're used to. And I want to go as far as saying, when that opportunity arises, don't waste it.
Very good. Hope that resonated some with you. Joanne Stewart.
This is one of the simplest ones so far tonight, if you ask me. Sometimes one card is really hard for me because I can pull a lot of layers out of one card. I mean, every card is like an onion. It's just layers and layers and layers. This one is so simple. Just because you can carry the weight of the world on your shoulders doesn't mean you should. And I'm going to leave it there. That's all I need to say about that. Because you can carry the weight of your world on your shoulders doesn't mean you should.
I hope that resonates with you, Joanne. I'm going to go back up. I think we've got all the readings that everybody has wanted. Did Damien ask for a reading?
Yes.
Down, okay. Down. Where does it go? Oh, yep. Damien Smith. I'm glad you saw that.
Our Ace of Cups. Interesting that we just went from Ace of Swords to Ace of Cups. Not that that means anything in the moment, but I notice everything. It's just what I do. So our Ace of Cups here, I feel like this relates more in a future tense, like near future tense. This isn't immediate, this moment, it's coming. There's going to be an opportunity for you to focus more solely on yourself. Like you're going to need to not at that moment focus on anyone else who may be a part of the picture. There's a decision that's going to need to be made, and you're going to have to put yourself first. Sometimes we just owe it to ourselves as human beings to do that. We're trained not to do that, not to put ourselves first. We're told that's selfish. And I don't agree with that. I think there's times we absolutely need to put ourselves first. And this makes me feel that there's a moment coming where you're going to need to do that. And when you do that readily, all of the pieces will just fall into place.
All righty. I'm going to try to get some of these thank yous. Leanne saying thank you. Todd saying thank you. Patrick said his was spot on. Thank you. Candy said hers made perfect sense. Trevor, hello. Kaylee, hello. We seen you guys popping in. We were just trying not to interrupt the readings.
Of course, Rob said he's firing everybody.
Yeah,
Claire
Rob,
said thank you.
Yeah, Claire said thank you. Sorry, I'm not trying to skip anybody, but there's a lot of stuff rolling in as I'm trying to. Of course, Rob said thank you. Barbie says hello. She was here last night. She was one of the ones with Night Song. And then Patience said hi to Christopher and to us. CNR Paranormal. They're going to the Museum of Lost Souls
in Muscatine.
Where is
what? Wait a minute. I know nothing of this. I've never heard of this. I need to know what this is.
This sounds like a place we might need to go to, doesn't it?
But CNR Paranormal, they said thank you, obviously. And Joanne said it's hard not to worry. Damien said plane to the States makes sense. They said gave me chills. And Kaylee is wanting a reading. Kaylee Basinger.
Oof. That's deep. There's our strength card. So often, the concept of strength takes me down a road of connecting to a person's own inner strength that they carry with them. This doesn't specifically take me there for you right now. Where it's taking me instead deals with a specific situation happening right now that requires strength to make it through. And, there's all kinds of situations in our life that require strength. I mean, for me, staying awake when I haven't slept requires strength. There's so many different things where that applies. It doesn't so much talk about the strength that you carry with you. I don't think I need to say anything about that because I think you know very well where that hits. This is one of those things, though, where when you start to just feel like, oh, I'm so tired, I don't know if I can keep moving through this. Yes, you can. Dig a little deeper. There's something in your life right now where you just need to dig a little deeper. You've got this.
All right. Patience LeClaire wants one.
What?
She's never had one from you.
The last time she had one for me, I made her wait 5 months for the answer. The Eight of Wands This is going to sound so not specific. And I know I haven't talked to you much recently, so we've not talked about anything specific. There's something on your mind that you've been thinking about doing. Do it.
And look at that look he's giving you too.
That's because we've not talked about anything specific recently. I have no idea what I just told her to do. But my gut says that there's something there and that, yes, do it.
All right.
I didn't even make you wait 5 months.
She said, Lord have mercy. Barbie, I saw where you said free reading. That's awesome. I don't know if you want one or not. So if you do, put it in the comments because I don't want to give you a reading if you don't want one. But while we're waiting to hear from you, Joshua Dixon asked if you could pull a card for him.
Yeah. Usually those that get a reading from me that don't want one, that's never a good thing.
She just asked the question, and it wasn't like she was asking for a card. And, you know, some people don't like putting that out there. So I just want to.
No, totally understood. But I'm just saying that normally if someone gets a reading from me and they didn't ask for one, it means they deserve one. That's a totally different scenario.
I get that. I see where you're going there.
Who is this for again?
Joshua Dixon.
That's such a pretty image.
I got that when you did my reading last week.
That did come up for you. Our 6 of Wands, that butterfly. So often I connect to the energy of transformation with this card, as that's what our butterfly does. It goes through tremendous transformation. That's not where I'm going with this. Instead, I'm focused more on the wands itself and how that butterfly looks like it just came up out of that tangled mass of wands. What was it doing down there? How did it get there? Was it stuck? Stuck. That's the idea that's hitting me right now. If there's somewhere in your life that you're feeling stuck right now, the only one who can move you through that is you. So if you're waiting for someone else to help you through something right now at this very moment, that's not the answer. You've got to get yourself unstuck.
And Kaylee, of course, she said thank you for her reading. And Barbie came back and said, yes, please. Barbie Horsley of Night Song Paranormal.
Yay, now that I've got permission. Like I said, wait till you guys see this. This, Barbie, what this is doesn't relate to you. We're going to talk about this, but just Ernie and Denise, wait till you guys see this.
Okay.
No.
Where's your beekeeper suit?
It's in the car. I don't usually need it in my own house. If I need that in my own house, we're in trouble.
For anybody that doesn't know, Christopher has a fear of bats to the point that he wears a beekeeper suit with the net
at certain locations.
At certain locations.
I look like an idiot, but I'm living my best life, having fun, uninhibited by my fear.
I have one question. What happens when one dives at you and their little claws get stuck in the face thing?
Honestly, I've been so lucky. I've never seen one when I've worn it. It's like it keeps them away. I've never seen one when I've worn one. The first time I ever wore one was for West Virginia State Penitentiary, because the first time I was there, my night was almost ruined by them. Like I was ready to just go sit in the car and cry. And that second time, I'm like, all right, here I go, living my best life. Didn't see any.
Bats. Damien's a bat ecologist. That's
you can keep them all. You can keep them all to yourself. I don't want them. Okay, Barbie, I'm sorry. Back to you. It's interesting that In the last reading, I talked about the energy of being stuck, as that's an energy that traditionally can come with this card. And I don't feel like that's what we need to talk about with you. What I feel is more important for you here, our hangman or our bat being up higher. That gives them a different perspective than we have down on the ground. And there's something about you and your perspective on certain things that's very worth acknowledging. Something about your perspective on certain things that sets you apart from other people. And the way that statement feels when I deliver that, I hope the people around you recognize that too. Because if they don't, they're missing out on something.
I see that.
Knowing Barbie, I say I agree
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
She is a special person.
And he don't mean special,
No.
like he does when he talks about me.
Right. Yeah, it's different. Whole different kind of thing.
So, Damien, or not Damien, Joshua said, thank you. That does resonate with the reading you gave him. And then Patience says, you should tell the story of the first time a bat scared you.
Oh my God.
Before you go there, though, Barbie says, wow, makes complete sense, and thank you. But yeah, we need to hear this story, Christopher.
I didn't have any issues with bats until just over 2 years ago. I had no problems with them at all. We were at the Monroe house, and it was like 3 a.m. We'd been there for hours. All that time in the house, bats were not on my mind. Plus, it was just March. Bats were not on my mind. As I was coming down the stairs after using the restroom, I was going to go to bed. I came down the stairs around the corner, and out of nowhere, a bat almost hit me in the face. I almost gave up my ghost. I almost died right then and there. I watched the thing circling the living room, timed it out so I could run and slam the kitchen door behind me. And I thought I heard this scream from the other room. And I'm thinking, oh my God, the bat just screamed. This is really bad. This is a big problem. And I don't think it was ever the bat that screamed. I think it was Patience that screamed, because I almost crushed her trying to get out of the room. Like, I almost went right over the top of her, almost knocked her down. I didn't even know she was in the room. I didn't see her.
You were focused on the bat.
I had no idea that there was a human being there that I almost knocked over.
Well,
And that was the start of all my trauma. It wasn't that long after that I was at Crescent, and the birds flying around the building had me on edge. I was just a basket case every time a bird would come down the hall.
Sarah, you gave her a reading when we were at the, was it ISS Con that we were at?
ISS Con
She'd
last
like to have a card pulled too. You'll get to see her also in a couple of weeks.
I know. I can't wait. I love the little fox there with that one eye open. He's got all those swords there above him, and even the one hidden underneath him. But still, it's like he's got to keep that one eye open. Why can't he just relax? Close your eyes. Go to sleep. Relax. Sometimes, even when everything is just like it should be, everything is good, everything is as perfect as it can be in any moment, sometimes we just don't want to let ourselves relax. Sometimes I think we put this energy out there when things are too good, they're too quiet, they're too peaceful. We're looking around and going, well, what's going to go wrong? How's this going to fall apart? When we think that, we put it out there. So I am going to encourage you to pay attention to your thoughts in regard to anything that's going on in your life right now. And just be very careful about what you're putting out there.
Knowing Sarah and knowing Rob, I think both those readings were spot on.
They were good.
They were
really
good. Sarah, if you disagree or agree, whatever,
let us know.
And Patience says, yep, I was standing in the middle of the living room on my phone and almost died. What were you going to say?
Damien had asked up there earlier
All about
what Mother Nature has in store for the rest of 2025. It's been a crazy year with Mother Nature.
Yeah, he's wanting to know if you see. He says
he's backing Godzilla or Megalodon. with the way things have been going, just give us some insight on what we might see for the rest of the year from Mother Nature.
He might not be able to read all that, you know.
I don't know that that's the card I'd want to pull, the Judgment card. I mean, that doesn't feel very good. So what I'm going to do with that, I feel that the unpredictableness that we've been experiencing, I think that's going to continue. I wouldn't expect things to even out anytime soon.
Yeah, makes sense.
I agree.
And Sarah says, thank you so much, Christopher. I believe that was spot on. Bullying PTSD is real. Thank you. So, unfortunately, this is the world we live in, whether it's paranormal or anything else, no matter what you're involved in nowadays, there's always one in every crowd. The funny thing is they're usually behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
Right.
And especially when you're having success and you're getting noticed, that's when the bullies and the naysayers, whatever you want to call
assholes.
Them. Yeah, that. When they come out of the woodwork. And so, yeah.
Well, I think we got everybody that was in the chat, but I haven't got a one card. I just had a reading with you a couple of weeks ago, but if you want to pull one for me, I'll take it.
And then after that, I'll tell you about recently when I had one of the best readings of my life. Like someone gave me one. I'll tell you about that after I pull your card. Well, there's your butterfly again. This to me really, I know I have an unfair advantage since I just did a reading for you. This really cements everything that we just talked about and says that the things that we talked about that you can bring in to what's going on in your life right now, that you can implement there, along with just what you carry with you and what's already working, you put that all together and it's just success.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Since I had my reading with you, I have felt a whole lot better. And even on the places that I was kind of not so sure of, it did really help me have a little insight and just have faith in just following the path I'm supposed to be on. So it was a very good reading. And we do have please no more hurricanes. Yeah. And Damien says, thank you for the readings tonight and appreciate your time and insight.
And I just want to say, as someone who has basically sat here quietly most of the night, and I'm not used to that, it is.
No, he's not.
I mean, to me, it's always just fascinating watching Christopher work and seeing, like we always say, it's like he reads your soul, even through the screen. It seems.
Well,
like
I mean, we don't know all of the people that you've read or what's going on in their lives, but the people that we did know and hearing what you've said, we can see how that resonates with all of them.
Yeah.
And
so, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being our guest. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for being our friend. Thank you.
Absolutely. Love you guys.
That we love you. Thank you for helping us with the things you've helped us with or helped me with specifically.
And that helps me because, you know, the happy wife, happy life thing. So, yeah, thank you.
But we want to hear about your reading that you were going to tell us about.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was out at Billy Creek for Civil War Days. And it was my first time going into their new cafe since it's opened.
Cool.
So I didn't at all know the woman behind the counter, and I walked in and ordered 2 cups of coffee. Yes, both of them were for me. And she asked if I wanted any room for cream or sugar, and I said, no, thank you. And she said, got it. Black like your soul.
That's a good reading.
And I said, I think you just took my job away from me. I think you just gave one of the most accurate readings in the history of the world. And I mean, I say that all the time. I say that all the time about my coffee. Black like my soul. This girl did not know me. She didn't know who I was. For her to just let that out, it was epic.
That is great.
Nice.
I felt like I just lost my job right there.
That's cool.
Well, we think you're pretty amazing, and we can't wait to get to spend more time with you and do some of the projects we've already got in store. And
absolutely, it's going to be a great year.
And we can't wait for the trifecta. I know we talked about it a little bit before we got started here. Folks, if you haven't got your tickets, please do. If you got your tickets and you didn't do the Christopher Lee Jansen add-on, get that. It's worth your time. He's going to be doing a gallery reading. He's going to be doing one-on-one readings. He'll be running the CE5 experiment. He'll be at the picnic with the Packs here at the Ditto House. So, and like I said, I think the VIPs for the house are sold out, but you can still go to the fort and squatches with the Squatch Man. We'll be there. Todd Leanne Askew of the Black Wolf Paranormal. Of course, Rob and Sarah with Get Haunted, Paranormally Blonde. And some of these people that you're seeing over here in the chat will be there. So
it's going to be a big weekend.
Epic weekend.
Cool. So excited.
And as we were talking before the show started, we said we talked to Rob and we were like, Rob, when are we going to sleep? And when we first started planning all this, and Ernie said, who's bringing the cocaine?
Yeah. We're going to be wore out. But it's going to be a good kind of wore out because, I mean, we're going to have a lot of great people around. And I just think that it's going to be an off the chain event.
Yeah,
I mean, I really do with the energies
and all the good energy of people that we know that's coming. It's just going to be a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Patrick says, fantastic. Thank you for your time. And then this CNR Paranormal said that Museum of Lost Souls is in Muscatine, Iowa. We can't wait for it. We will be there for a whole weekend.
Oh, definitely going on my list.
There you go.
Must do it. Barbie and that whole gang, Nighttime Paranormal, they are over, they don't own it, but they help with the paranormal aspect of Maggie Mansion down in Gallatin, Tennessee. And it's near the Bell Witch, well, not near the Bell Witch Cave, but closer to the Bell Witch Cave. And just so FYI, because I know you talked about coming to the September 6th Bell Witch Cave.
Got it in my calendar.
So just, you know,
want to hit that up.
You might want to look into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, there's so many great locations around,
right?
That don't get a lot of that we don't hear about all the time.
Octagon Hall.
We hear about the big ones, but there's so many great locations out there and a lot of great people running them. And I just want to, you know, for anyone watching that's kind of a casual paranormal person, I know you hear about the big ones, you know, Ohio State Reformatory, Waverly, Trans-Allegheny, all those big names, Pennhurst. Those are all great places, great locations. But there's also a lot of places out there.
Little hidden gems.
That are hidden. I mean, and I'll be selfish and say I think Fort Duffield and the Ditto House are two of those hidden gems that not enough folks get to experience. Yeah. Chris has been here.
Agreed.
He's been places.
Two fantastic locations, hands down. Yes.
And Barbie says, yes, message me and we'll take you. So she's ready to give you a personal tour.
Yes. Oh, I'm all in.
Yeah.
So what time's it getting to be? 9:55. So we'll start wrapping up because Chris has had a long day. We've had a long week. Chris has had a long weekend.
We had a long weekend.
Yeah. Well, we've all.
All my weekends are long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not long enough, actually.
Patience said, I loved the fort, but Christopher didn't warn me about the hill.
Well, I mean, you could have driven, just saying. But no, we've got, what all have we got? We've got the trifecta coming up.
Which Christopher will be at that. We'll be
Christopher
together.
will be there. Todd, Leanne, Eskew, we've already talked about everybody coming to
and
that.
the Black Wolf, their next overnight, public overnight at the Bell Witch Cave is June 14th, right? This is May. Yeah, June 14th. Tickets are on sale for that right now. And the Bell Witch Cave, for anybody that doesn't know, is now doing private overnights. So reach out to the Black Wolf Paranormal if you're interested in booking that.
I got really excited there. Like,
They just started. They had their first private overnight this past weekend.
Talk to Leanne.
Amazing. Yeah. That's amazing.
Leanne can get that.
Leanne, get you hooked up on that. It's an amazing place. I mean, it's basically 3 locations on, what is it, like 100 acres, something like that. You've got the cave itself. You've got the replica Bell Cabin.
Patience is saying, Christopher.
You've got the Indian burial grounds there and the haunted Dale.
Yeah.
Also.
And that would be a perfect opportunity if you hook up with them and get the Bell Witch Cave rented out. You just, do that one night, and next night you drive on down to Gallatin and go to the Maggie Mansion with Night Song Paranormal.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I love this.
Yeah.
I got you a whole new area.
There you go.
I can't wait.
Just a few hours drive for you. It's not terrible.
It's nothing.
Do you have anything coming up you want to share, Christopher, before we wrap this up?
I have so much craziness coming up. I mean, we've got FCI Con in June, ISS Con end of August, and then MadCon in September. I'll be a special guest at all 3 of those. I'll be a speaker at the Trillium Paracon in July. I think that's like right around the 3rd weekend. I'm hosting my own event at Bill Manor on June 28th. I've got my psychic public hunts at FCI, one in August and one in November. I just have so much going on right now. I don't even know where to begin. It's awesome.
Well, we all complain about being busy, but at the same time, glad we are,
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way.
FCI Con is June 21st. She put the date up there.
That's like my holy day right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's... You've let us know that's definitely a fixture for you. You're there.
So, love that place so much.
Well, we appreciate everyone. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Does Christopher have any body art that does it help it channel your own energy, or I guess tattoos? Body art can influence energy. Do you have tattoos that you think help you with what you do?
Oh, that's a really interesting question, because that's something that I just started to connect to about 2 years ago. Specifically, November will be 2 years ago. I'm absolutely covered in tattoos. And gradually they were revealing themselves to me to have their own power and connecting into helping me unravel whatever I was working on at the time.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Going back to the idea of that death card being my number 2 favorite card, the number 1 favorite card in the deck is the Magician.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the whole thing right there. But yes, more and more different symbols on my body have become useful in helping me unravel certain things. That is an epic question. Thank you.
Well, it comes from a guy who happens to have a Ouija board tattooed on his 2 forearms. Damien has a Ouija board and gets a lot of strange looks from people he talks
But
about.
he uses his to
He uses his actually as a Ouija board, basically.
to help.
That's epic. I don't have a board tattooed on me yet. I'm currently working on an entire tarot mural on my back.
Oh, wow.
I do have a planchette, which takes me down another road. I actually just partnered with the company Creepy Crates to release my own board. So I have my own edition board. It's got my logo, my signature on it, and some other symbols that are meaningful to me.
We've been needing that board.
We might need to buy a new board. So,
one can never have enough.
Exactly. Well, we appreciate you being on here, Christopher. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. And I'm sure Ernie will be getting a reading from you when you get here. And if time
we might talk after the show. Who knows?
Absolutely.
But everybody that chimed in over here, everyone that got a reading, I hope you got what you were looking for out of it, and just trust what the man says.
And you can find Christopher to do private readings where can they find you, Christopher, if they want to book a reading with you?
Facebook's the easiest. I seem to check my messages there more frequently than other social media.
All right. So Christopher Lee Jansen,
That's
if you all are having a hard time finding him, find me or Ernie and we'll get you in touch with him.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We'll hook you
All
up.
right.
But anyway, folks, we're going to get out of here for now. Next weekend, we're going to have the one and only Greg Yost Squatchman back. And we're going to talk a little bit about the trifecta
with him.
and his infinite knowledge about the forest people. So come back and join us for that next week. And we'll let you folks go. You all have a good night. Thanks for joining us.
All right.
Hang the dang phone.